Welcome to Oiler Preview as Findlay prepares to take on longtime rival the Hillsdale Chargers. First, Coach, let's go back to Lake Erie game. Dominant performance on both sides of the ball as the team posts a 45-3 victory. Second week in a row, your team gets off to a fast start, and I know that's always key for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Both sides of the ball played at a high level, but that third side really got us going to start the game, with that huge kickoff return by Micaiah Matthews, and what a spark that was, and then able to get in the end zone just 2 plays later. So, a fast start is something that always is coach talk. Hey, we want a fast start, Well, fast start occurs when you do the right things and you put yourself in the right position, and we were able to do that.
Let's start with the offense. Quarterback Alec Bornhorst under a bit of scrutiny after week one, I think is safe to say. Maybe still some after week two, despite the unique stat line. But in week three, he looked like he provided exactly what you're looking for. An efficient 10 of 14, 152, a touchdown, no interceptions, was not sacked, and he ran for 60 yards and a pair of touchdowns. He had more yardage than Lake Erie's entire offense.
Yeah, I thought Alec played a really, really smart game. He didn't try to do too much with the ball. He did what he needed to with it. The ball moved around. You see a lot of different receivers had receptions because he moved the ball around the field into the spots where the green grass was, which is what we ask of him. And he's a weapon with the ball in his hands. And so, yeah, that's a great stat line for a quarterback. And, a lot of credit goes to the offensive line as well, because to be 10 of 14 means that you're running the football effectively as well.
Well, that's where I'm going next. You're without Garrett Clark. Needed guys to step up. Ryan Benson, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Micaiah Matthews, the big return, plus a 42 yards on the ground and a touchdown, earned him Athlete of the Week honors. Those guys certainly provided a spark for you.
Yeah, they did, and Brian's been there and done that. I think Coach Strom recruited him here. He's been here for quite some time, so he's no stranger to a big game. And then Micaiah Matthews is a kid that we know has had just an immense amount of talent, but he's battled injuries his first couple years, so just so happy for that young man to be out there and healthy and playing the game that he loves, and certainly is a weapon.
Switch to the defensive side of the ball. Strong performance by the entire unit. 8 TFLs, including 3 sacks, an interception. You limited them to 126 total yards. Certainly impressive.
Yeah, I thought the defense played a swarming style. They played our brand of football, which is physical. I thought what you saw was a lot of tackling back, right? When the first guy got there weren't many more yards gained, and then guy 2 and guy 3 was there to ensure that yards weren't continuing to be gained. So they did a really nice job getting to the football. And then, the interception you mentioned, that came at a pivotal time. It was the one turnover that we had offensively for the program. And then Jordan Grimes comes up with a big play, turns it right back to us from an offensive perspective, and then we're in the end zone. So that's great.
Certainly, as we said, a strong performance by the entire unit, and I know all the different components build off each other, but your linebacking core right now is playing at an exceptionally high level. Again, partially because what everybody else is doing, but really they're getting after the quarterback, they're making plays in the hole. As you mentioned, interception, they're just doing everything that you like from them, and even then some.
Yeah, I think the one thing that you want to talk about, are they physical football players? Absolutely. But the thing that stands out to me is their football intelligence. They are very football smart guys. Romero Warren and Sam Wyrau are the guys, obviously, that you're referring to inside. A pair of sophomores that grew, a lot during that stretch. They made their first college starts against Ferris State last year, and then ran it out the string the rest of the year. And they've grown so much, and they've taken the coaching of Coach Lloyd and Coach Reb and that whole defensive staff, and they're putting it on the field. They're exceptional football players. They're even better people.
Talking Oiler football here on Oiler Preview with head coach Corey Allen. This week you finish off a 3-week road trip that I know you've greatly enjoyed. But the shortest of the 3 trips, heading to Hillsdale to take on an 0-3 Charger team that is pretty road weary itself.
Yeah, both of us have had a lot of road trips to start our season off. Hillsdale obviously coming home for the first time, but the Oilers don't need a GPS to get to Hillsdale, Michigan. We were there under a year ago, and we've been up there quite often, dating all the way back to our GLIAC days. So no stranger to Muddy Waters Stadium, and looking forward to a great contest.
Tough schedule for Hillsdale, perennially powerhouse Indianapolis. Follow that with the always rough trip up to Houghton, which again Oilers are more than familiar with, to take on Michigan Tech, and then had to battle the Ashland Eagles. They've been through a grinder.
Yeah, they absolutely have, and I'm not even sure if this is the exact question, but Hillsdale College has the ability to win any game at any time, any week. They're a model of consistency. It does not matter to this football program what their record is. That is an outstanding football program that Keith Otterbine's put together over the years, and we're going to have our hands full on Saturday, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Well, let's look at their offense. Focus goes to the senior quarterback, Asen, who has struggled, just 488 passing yards through 3 games, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's been sacked 10 times already, lost 3 fumbles, off to a rough start. Well, let's keep that rough start going.
Well, certainly we want to do a good job defensively of getting after him and making him uncomfortable. But at the same time, our job is to play our style of football and really not look at all those things and just go out and play our brand of football. And look, anybody's capable of a big day at any time, and we need to make sure that we do our job more in the right spots.
Michael Herzog is a quality running back, has been for several years in the league. But they've struggled to find him some complementary pieces, and they're averaging about 108 yards a game. And then on the receiving side of things, when you talk about the rest of the offense, they probably saw arguably the best receiver in the conference transfer out of there, and they've had trouble finding a replacement for that.
Yeah, that young man that they lost last year, Tesla, was obviously the best receiver in our league, if not the region, and you could argue the country. I mean, he's starting down in the SEC right now, which is no small task, and he was a super talented player. So to replace a guy like that, and sometimes you have to do that by committee. We lost when Jason Moore graduated. It wasn't, hey, just this next guy up. It was by committee, and so that's a tall task.
Take a look at them defensively. Numbers, obviously, as we kind of alluded to with the opponents, they're not great. But it seems that it's largely the result of being on the field too much and turnovers, putting that defense in bad spots.
Yeah, that defense is big and that defense is physical. And if you look at the scores, I think the scores of the first couple games can be very misleading. They're in battles. They're in battles, and then somewhere along the line through the course of each game, something occurs and that lead gets stretched a little bit. But at the same time, that's a physical defense and a defense that is going to force you to be on your P's and Q's offensively.
So, Coach, what's it going to take for the Oilers to keep the Chargers corralled and post a victory?
Well, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Normally I come up with something gimmicky here. It's do our job at a higher, faster, and more physical level than they do.
All right, thanks, Coach. Go Oilers.
Go Oilers.
You've been listening to Oiler Preview, part of the University of Findlay Athletics.